Hello, I'm Graham Elwood, and welcome to the Political Vigilante. Anybody just joining the show, you used to call the show Church of Batman, but then realized there would be some trademark issues, so that is a little painting of the Dark Knight. Boom. And I changed it to Political Vigilante because I want to be like Batman and get at the truth. I'm a Batman weirdo. I want to talk about an article that was in the March 7th issue of USA Today's business section called NYC Sees Drop in Foreign Visitors. And it's an interesting article to talk about the economic impact of the travel ban. So New York City is the most visited place in all of America, which is surprising. You think maybe Disneyland or something, but no, it's New York City. And since Trump's on and off travel ban, it has drastically dropped. They've seen 300,000 less visitors to New York City. And this article goes in, and I'll read some of the statistics on it. It goes into what that is. And it's obviously people from the Middle East and Africa primarily have stopped traveling here. And they can track it through, travel websites like Orbitz and stuff like that, who's booking tickets to New York City and where they're from. And it's like, I've said this before on the show, so much of his policy is very short-sighted. We're going to make America safe. What are you going to do to the travel industry? What are you going to do with people that have legal visas that want to come here and work, that work here, or Americans that want to that work in other countries? What are you going to do about them? You're hurting American workers. I travel for a living. I do about, anywhere from 3 to 4 international trips a year. Is it going to affect my ability to go on the road and make money? So it's like, it's very short-sighted. It's not helping. He's all talking, oh, my economy, I'm going to make the economy great again. And you're not, this is a place, again, you're not helping the economy. So what it talks about, the city projects it will see 300,000 fewer international visitors this year than it did in 2016, a 2.1% dip. It's the first time that travelers to New York City has shrunk since 2008, since the giant recession. That's the last time New York City dropped this much. And they talked to Chris Hayward, a spokesman for NYC and Company. He said the restrictions are creating an image problem for many international travels regarding if they included the ban or not. And it's mainly, it's predicted tourism comes amid a report of a drop-off in flight searches and bookings in the U.S. report leaned by Travel and Analytics Forward Keys found that international bookings fell 6.5% in 8 days after the travel ban. When the courts intervened to stay in enforcement of the ban, reservations rebounded. They increased 2.2% in 12 days as compared to the same period in 2016. Then when word came down in February 17th, new restrictions would be coming. What did that do, of course? They dropped 4%. So the biggest drop-off occurred, like I said. So here's another interesting statistic. Since international travel has dropped, domestic travel to New York City has actually risen. There's a lot of pro-Trump people that want to go see him in Trump Towers, which is costing the American taxpayer millions of dollars to guard him so they're paying for the White House and that. That's really helping America. But here's the issue, though, and I'll read this statistic, is international visitors make up roughly 20% of New York's visitors. They comprise 50% of the total amount of tourists spend while they are in a city, according to New York City and Company. So international tourists spend more money than a domestic tourist does, because an international tourist usually this is their big international trip. They spend more money. A domestic traveler might come for a couple of days and see a show or something and, go to Trump Tower and then go home. While, if you've ever traveled internationally and you go to some big city like Paris or London or someplace like that, Tokyo, you're like, oh my God, and you got to buy everything and you got to be as much of a tourist. Whereas if you go to a cool city in America and you're from America, it's like, oh, this is cool, but like some of this other stuff I've already seen because I'm an American. And the numbers back this up. So it's really, and what the city is doing to combat this, they're launching a $3 million ad campaign this month in several markets, including Mexico, the United Kingdom, and Germany, designed to reassure wary travelers New York is still a welcoming destination. But, okay, that's all great and all, but if I lived in another country, I'd be like, I'm not going to America if this is what they're doing. When the Brexit thing happened, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to go to England. And of course, America voted for Trump. So if I had that feeling about England, I can see many people from all over the place. I have fans that listen to my podcast and have seen me do stand-up all over the world. And some of them were like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to come. I'm co-producer of the Los Angeles Podcast Festival, which is this October. And we get some international travelers. I'm wondering where America will be at that point and what if this travel ban will hurt one of my businesses. So it's more short-sightedness on the Trump people, and it pisses me off. If you're all pro-business, it's just like, it's good to help middle America, to help working class people. That's good, but then you're not thinking of the rest of us and people who work in the travel industry and people who have to travel for a living. And if the travel industry is suffering, how does that affect my business? I don't know, maybe it'll drive prices down, and that expense that I have to spend, maybe that'll come down. I don't know, but it's not a good thing. The travel industry, America is a giant tourist destination. I live in Los Angeles, which has a bunch of tourist destinations like Hollywood and the Chinese theater and, Disneyland and all this stuff and the beach. And it's going to affect our numbers too. Because someone's like, well, maybe I'll go to Australia instead of America if America is going to act this way. I can't say that I blame them. Thanks for watching, you guys. Like, subscribe, share this to people. Visit my Patreon links. Check out my other videos. And I've got tour dates coming up. I'll be headlining the Skyline Comedy Cafe in Appleton, Wisconsin, March 17th and 18th, and then going to Hawaii, March 22nd through the 25th. All those links and all that stuff are below in the show notes, and I'll put a link to this article in the show notes as well. Thank you for watching.